All right, so you heard it here first. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say that twin flames are real, soulmates are real, but everybody has it completely wrong. Okay, so everyone's I don't know, maybe no one just wants to talk about this, or they don't want people to know because then they would be able to like decipher their lives or something. I don't know. It's very interesting. The truth community or the spirituality community is oof, yikes. Anyways, so and I've recently come to this revelation I would like to share with you. Of course, be open to the idea that I'm wrong. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm open to the idea that I'm wrong. Considering new information, it's all there. I'm willing to look at it. However, right now, I have evidence, proofs of this phenomenon, and how I want to tell you how you can take advantage of it, or how you can keep a lookout for it and know when these types of things are coming up for you in your life. And I mean, it's all based off your natal chart essentially, right? But here's the big secret, okay? So if your twin flame existed, okay, if there is such a thing as a twin flame, if they came from a zodiac sign, if they not what sign they are, but if they were created, right? Or like okay, what sign in the zodiac would rule twin flames? Which zodiac? If you think about it, like they always like say certain planets rule certain aspects of the mind or the body, blah blah. Okay, well, which zodiac sign is going to control or be responsible for twin flames? The obvious answer for me would be Gemini. Okay, so Gemini has a direct connection to twin flames, in my opinion. Okay, so let's go a step deeper. If Gemini is responsible for the twin flame phenomenon, that means and Gemini and Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. That means Mercury is responsible for somehow facilitating the meeting, right? Because that's what Mercury is, right? Essentially the communication or the back and forth. He's somehow responsible in the delivering of your twin flame to you at some point in your life, essentially. Okay. This is my theory. This is my working theory. Again, feel free to tell me I'm crazy. Feel free to object. Feel free to show me counter evidence. Okay, I'm always open to it. You know what I mean? I'm still learning. I know a lot of people are still learning, but this stuff seems pretty clear cut and dry to me. Okay, so we've established where twin flames come from. We established who's responsible for twin flames, which planet would be Mercury. Okay, so you know you have to be open to the idea that Mercury retrograde is a way to deliver your twin flame to you, essentially. Okay, depending on your house structure. Okay, obviously Mercury serves different. That planet's going to serve different aspects for each of us differently, essentially. Okay, but I'm coming from an experience that I've had personally, and I've seen other people's charts. Okay, um, and I believe that the planet Mercury is totally responsible for that phenomenon. Okay, when someone comes into your life, it's normally going to be through a Mercury transit or a Mercury retrograde, because the only person capable of knowing who your twin even is Mercury. Who's got the ledger? Who can even comprehend what a twin flame is? Like, there's only one planet, right? Essentially, would have to be Mercury. Now, Venus, on the other hand, whole other ball game. Okay, that's where I think you get the concept of soulmates and and karmics, essentially, right? Because it's like, hey, like just the whole topic of sex. You know what I mean? It has so many different levels to it, right? And everyone's got so many different yeah, the different qualities about sex that they like, that they enjoy, right? So that's where that's where the energy for the karmic or the soulmate even comes in. Okay, so you have somebody who you feel an extreme connection to, right? Well, look at the aspect between Mars and Venus, right? That's that masculine, that feminine, right? It's like that yin and the yang, right? There's that pull, right? And then of course that karmic aspect, it's like sometimes the things we love aren't really that good for us, And sometimes, they're really bad for us. Sometimes they fuck us up. So, right? That's the truth. You know what I mean? You eat too much sugar, you're gonna get fat. I'm like, I know. All right. So now to make this relevant, for those of you who do look at your chart, who understand where your planets are, understand where your placements are, look at your fifth house, okay? That's the first place for romance, right? Now, I'm not saying that you're gonna have a shitty life or a shitty love life if you don't have any fifth house placements. I'm not saying that, but the odds are better. You know what I mean? We're just looking at it from odds essentially. But more importantly, when is Mercury going to go retrograde in your fifth house? When is Venus going to go retrograde in your fifth house? Okay. Now, these may not necessarily, now that you start looking at this information, it may not be a good thing. You may start looking at this information and start thinking, oh, wait, I'm looking at the dates, I'm lining this stuff up. Like, yeah, these were people in my life that I met that played an important role, but I didn't necessarily enjoy everything about that whole interaction, because you'll start lining the dots and you start thinking, oh, you start realizing that, like, okay, like, this is this love or this romance or this twin flame isn't necessarily my best friend. They might actually be here to teach me something. They might actually be here to kick my ass. And you have to consider that. And that's how these retrogrades bring in that energy, right? And again, I can attest to this personally. Look at your chart, go back, or pay me for a reading. Go back and look at your chart, 2018 October, right? And during the Venus retrograde, right? See where that was in your chart. Now, take that and then look at where we are right now, right? With the Mercury retrograde about to hit officially on the 13th, right? And then tell me you aren't seeing patterns repeated right now that you saw back in 2018, right? Of course, everyone's structure is going to be different. The planets will play out differently for everybody. But again, we all kind of move in archetypes, right? Society is moving in archetypes. So a lot of us have had some really intense situations since October 2018. A lot of us have been in some really intense situations since 2018, right? When Venus hit, right? And then we're following up with this retrograde. So, hey, that's just some food for thought. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. But again, I would really appreciate some feedback. I would like to hear from you guys. Have you experienced this phenomenon? Have you noticed you have certain house placements? And again, you can apply that concept in other places. So let's take, for instance, your money house, right? Or even just your career, because that's going to be one of your stronger houses. Okay, so if you're having a Mercury, let's say you have Jupiter in your 10th house at 10 degrees, okay, and you're having a Mercury retrograde, right, at 10 degrees, in your 10th house, whatever house, doesn't matter. So now what we'll look at, I'm thinking what's Jupiter song, and I'm thinking this off the cuff, right? But again, you can apply this concept anywhere. When do these retrogrades happen, and where is it hitting in your chart, right? And I can guarantee you're gonna see some action in that area or that part of your life. Okay, I guarantee it. You can go back. I've looked at almost hundreds of charts now, and I'm seeing the same exact phenomenon over and over and over again, right? So it's like, when I can, you're looking at your career, when am I going to have some sort of money success or some sort of stability in my career? Like, okay, well, let's look at your 10th house, right? And like, okay, now that we're looking at your 10th house, do you have any planets there? Okay, no, yes, okay, you've got 2 planets there. Okay, when are they going to get hit? When are they going to get activated? It doesn't always, not always during a retrograde, but in general, it's like when it gets transited, typically something, some sort of karma is going to unfold in your life. And of course, it's up to you how you handle it. You have free will. You have a choice. You can decide what you do with that situation, that opportunity. But right now, you know what I mean. Hey, look, you know what I mean. Like, it's kind of like right there in your face. This information is like widely available. Again, I don't know why people aren't talking about this or people aren't sharing this type of information. I there's really only there are only two. I hate to say it, you know what I mean? Like I really do because I love I love the spirituality community and I love everybody in it and my God, there are just some incredible people, so much good knowledge and good information to learn. But there's also just politics and fucking prom kings and queens and all this strife, you know what I mean? And it doesn't people get lost in it and they forget that they're supposed to be delivering, information to help you change, make your life better, help you change your life, right? And that's the other thing. It's like, where is the life changing information? You know what I mean? Like, where's the information that the people really need? And again, I hate to say it, but there's only like two or three reputable people, that I would say, yeah, this guy's got good information, right? Like, you can go to him. I guarantee he's going to give you something knowledgeable. He's going to lead you in the right direction. But there's not a lot out there, and it seems like a lot of like copycatting, and it seems like a lot of like stealing other people's work. And I'll tell you exactly where I get my information from. Like I'm not trying to hide anything. You know what I mean? Knowing this and then actually applying it to your life are two different things. You can know all there is to know about astrology, but you can read all the books or follow all the gurus or whatever, all the Instagram accounts or whatever, right? But until you actually start applying it and seeing how it works and like looking at the timing and start like plotting your life out, until you start looking at your chart and then you start looking at like other people's charts and then seeing repeating patterns, you're not going to know what the hell's going on. But again, I'm just really like, I'm so surprised that like a lot of people don't talk about this, or I have had this idea before. The whole idea between the whole concept between twin flames and that whole thing. But anyways, I think I'm rambling at this point. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Again, give me some feedback. You know what I mean? Tell me what you think. Am I right on the money? You know what I mean? Or have you never? Do you not have any fifth house placements? You know what I mean? And that's why you've never experienced anything like that. Or have you seen? Has Mercury retrograde brought other things for you because of other parts of your natal chart? I don't know. Tell me. Give me some feedback.